and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Live Your Legacy podcast. On today's episode, I have a very special guest. Most of you already may know him, may follow him, one of his pages online. He has a combined following of over 12 million, pioneering the social media, specifically the Instagram space. He's been on the platform since the beginning, and he has done some extraordinary things, worked with some incredible people that we all follow and work with and admire. So it is an honor, it is a privilege to introduce you guys, my friend, Jason Stone. Welcome to Live Your Legacy podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Well, thanks for the warm welcome. That was awesome.
Yes,
Chris.
sir. Yes, sir.
Great to be here.
I'm excited to have you because we haven't connected in quite some time. It's I believe since 2018 or 2017. In that time, I met you at Dream Masterminds. You remember Dream Masterminds? Yep. At the One Hotel? I met you there, and you had great energy. And I'm like, man, you know what? One day I want to be like Jason Stone. He had his wife, he had his kids, he had the lifestyle, and you had a great character as well. So I said, I want to sit close to this guy. And from that day on, we built a relationship. We became friends. We've worked out in the past. I remember we used to work out together.
Working out at the Biscayne Beach.
Yeah, way back, but it's been a while. So I want to take the time that we have here today to really learn more about you, your background, your story. I know that you're a branding expert, you're a mentor, you're an engineer, you own different companies, you've had a lot of success, you live an incredible lifestyle. I want to learn how do you do it, what you've done, how you got started, and let's create an incredible episode where we can give a lot of value back to all of our viewers. So Jason, without further ado, why don't you share a little bit about your background, your story. Most people see you as the millionaire mentor, Jason Stone. They see the luxury, they see the lifestyle, they see the travel, they see all of the glamorous things that you do. And how did you get started? Let's talk about your story of what led you into having this social media empire.
How I got started. Man, she feels like I was just on this podcast and did the same intro story. How I got started. To make a long story short, it was kind of a tragic event of how my social media started. I was robbed. My house was robbed. And from that event led me to delete my social media accounts back in the day, 2014, I believe, 2016. And I decided I wanted to get back on social media with a purpose. You know, before I didn't have a purpose. I was just posting. Everybody was posting their pictures. There wasn't really a purpose. There was no video back then. And it was just to showcase your life, some pictures of your family, your dog, your food, your cat. And I wanted to do it with a purpose. So I always thought of myself as a good teacher, a good mentor. I always had money on my mind. I always was a hustler. I had entrepreneurship in my blood. And I just wanted to give back. And I think social media was a way for me to do that, provide value, and give back to the world of things that I've learned, some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way, and just share my story. So here we are, fast forward 8 years, still sharing my story, still providing value. And, because of that tragic event, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today.
Got it. So since 2015, you had a tragic event that led you into wanting to inspire, create content. Did you see an opportunity in the marketplace for you to capitalize? What kind of businesses were you running? Were they going to be advantageous to you being online, or was most sort of, let me provide value, let me build something here? What did you see? Did you see a future? What allowed you to actually start posting consistently? Because most people, they just use social media to post their cat, their dog, their family, what they're doing on the weekend. But what was it that, you have over 12 million followers, right? What did you see?
I just thought to myself, if I can garner enough attention, and attention, you guys know, is the new currency. So my mindset was like, okay, if I could build some sort of community, put together a group of people, garner some attention, I could direct that attention to wherever I saw fit. And back then, there was no such thing as a personal brand, but we all have one. We were all creating one. That terminology didn't come into effect until a few years later. But I was building my personal brand back then. And the personal brand is everything. So, without diving too much into on that topic, I'm sure we will, I just thought to myself, if we can make a community, provide value, deliver value, and provide people with a source of inspiration and motivation, it could lead to a business. I have no idea what I was doing back then. I didn't know it would turn into a business. I didn't know I'd be able to use that account to promote other businesses. So it's definitely a blessing in disguise.
I love it. And most people now that we know, they look into Instagram to create a business. Did you have a business before? Why don't you explain a little bit about what you do now, and then we'll dive in a little bit deeper. Okay. So I know that based on knowing for years, you did start off as an engineer, not a marketing expert. And you had your own business, which I believe was called Treadstone.
Yes.
That's the first business that you ever built?
Yeah, I started that when I was 20, so that's 23 years in the making.
So you've been in business for 23 years?
Yeah.
And that was your first business that you owned and
that
operated?
Was, my first business I started was Treadstone. It was a passion of mine, a hobby of mine turned into a business. And there's nothing better than doing what you love and create a business out of it. So that, I was fortunate to be able to do something I love, create a business out of something that I love doing. And, when you do things you love, the money just comes naturally. A lot of people get into business and they just want to make money. They want to make money. Sometimes, doing what you love and something that you're passionate about isn't going to produce a lot of money in the beginning because you're doing it for love and doing it for passion. But eventually, if you stick with it long enough, you're not going to drop it because you're not making money. You're not going to drop it because this didn't work out. You're going to be doing it because you just love what you do. Like, I just opened a jiu-jitsu gym, like literally 2 months ago with my professor. That's something I'm passionate about, something I love. Is it making money? Hell no. Is it another business that's just sucking money in? Is it going to make a lot of money in the future? It's a niche, small little gym, and probably not. But who knows? Who knows? Because I'm doing it because I love it and I'm passionate about it. It could grow into a multi-unit franchise with thousands and thousands of members and locations all over the world. Why? Because I'm doing it because I love to do it. I'm not doing it for the money. So when I built Treadstone, I was doing it because I love doing it. It supported my hobby, so I could buy parts for my car. And I started Millionaire Mentor because I felt compelled to give back, give value. And a lot of people start businesses with the wrong intentions these days. And that's why businesses are failing, because you're not loving what you do. You don't like it. You're just doing it to make money. And when you come up with hardships and bumps in the road and distractions and failures, that's when people quit.
100%. And Steve Jobs has a quote about following your passion, because when that turns you on, it's the gasoline. When you're setting out fires, it's like, how am I going to be able to overcome this? This is my passion. This is what I love. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And Steve Jobs, he has a huge legacy that he's left for all of us with Apple. Yeah. So Treadstone, passion, car enthusiast, you just started out. And then how did you go about scaling that business? When did you know it was time to move on to the next business or get into Instagram? How was the sequencing like?
Scaling any business, it just requires delegation. That's it. One word, delegation. Is you can't do everything yourself. Just like we were just talking with Drew about scaling the podcast. He's going to remove himself and delegate his tasks to someone else that he's going to pay an hourly rate to. And then he can take himself out of the business, just like I took myself out of the business 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and put people in place of me to grow the business. So that's what Treadstone. Treadstone runs like a perfectly greased machine, and it's producing consistent revenue year over year. It doesn't really grow as much as I'd like to because I'm not there, and I haven't put the people in place to really, or the money in place to really expand and grow that business. Millionaire Mentor, the same way. I started doing it all myself. In any business, you got to do it all yourself. You have to start the micromanaging of yourself, micromanaging of your employees, and then slowly step away from the equation. And what else? Scaling. So the agency is what I have now. That's the business that sprung out of Millionaire Mentor. I had no idea I was going to start a social media marketing agency. It just happened. It just fell into my lap, and I love what I do. I love being able to utilize my followers and help other businesses get followers, get business, get clients, grow their social media following, help them with their personal brand, help them with content creation, help them setting up podcasts like this. So it's
Oh, we're gonna dive in deep to that for sure. So I want to just take a step back. So you scaled Treadstone, you delegated, found the right people, systems, and then it was running without you. And then what was your mindset? Social media's taking off. I got a potential with this brand, Millionaire Mentor. Let me focus on this now. Now that I got this business cash flowing, was that how the process was for you?
Yeah, well, the process was the robbery happened, and I decided to get back on social media, but not as my personal account. I decided to get back on social media is with a purpose, somehow to give value, and that's how that business started.
Got it. Okay, so then you had that business, you were operating it, and then social media starts taking off. It becomes more and more popular. Businesses start going online. Entrepreneurs start, marketing themselves, and you start to build your platform. How did you grow from 0 to 12 million? Where did you see the biggest spikes of growth? Like, what was that process like? Because you manage a huge account that has millions of views, millions of visitors, a lot of traffic. So how did you start using that to build the brand? What was that experience like?
So growing that account was just a matter of consistent grind daily of posting multiple times throughout the day and pumping out that content on a consistent basis. I don't think I've ever missed a day of posting in the last 9 years. And we posted a dozen times a day now. So back then, it was a full-time job. I literally stopped. I was in Treadstone office working on my social media account, trying to create these memes and all these captions and these quotes that fit the picture. And there was no video out there, so it was just chugging out relatable content that people can get inspired by, can get motivated by. And I think that consistency throughout the years just compounded. Or Instagram was like, damn, this account is consistent. We like consistency. It's putting out relatable content. People are sharing the post. People are saving it. People are liking it. People are commenting. And it just favored the algorithm.
Got it. Okay. So with Millionaire Mentor now, I know you've worked with some of the largest brands out there, from the Jordan Belforts to the Ed Milets to some of the biggest influencers. And I know it's brought you a lot of opportunities, connections, and, networking events you've spoken because of this brand that you built. How important is it to start building your personal brand now and leading into 2024?
I mean, it is super important for any business to start a personal brand. Say for instance, do you know the CEO of American Airlines?
Nope.
Do you know the CEO of Spirit?
Nope.
Delta?
Nope.
Do you know the CEO of Virgin?
Yeah, I do. Richard Branson.
There you go, right? Richard Branson, because of his personal brand, him being out there in the limelight, his face, he owns multiple billion and million dollar companies because of his personal brand, right? Mm-hmm. Elon Musk, he's the CEO and the personal brand of every company he builds, and he has tons of companies. CEOs that don't have the personal brand, they're good at one, and nobody knows them. They can't go out and start another company without their personal brand and their people following them and say, all right, this CEO is very successful with this company. I've been following him for a long time. I'm consuming his content. He's teaching me. Oh, he just started this business. Oh, let me go check this out. So that's the power of the personal brand. You can literally take your eyeballs and the attention of the people that follow you and direct them to any business that you ever want to start for the rest of your life.
100%. And that's what Patrick does so well too with Valuetainment and with the media company. He has a personal brand, and that's what the division that I work in Bet David Consulting, it's just through his personal brand. Everything we do is organic. So I've seen the power of that, and I built a personal brand over the past 4 years. And through that, I created connections, I grew businesses, and I built relationships. And I've always been vouching for social media. So I definitely believe in social media and in the opportunities I could bring for business owners, especially. How would a lot of people, they want to build a personal brand. They need help with marketing, and they want to grow online, but they don't know where to start. They have imposter syndrome. They're afraid of making content. They have fears of being seen. They don't know how to communicate online. What are some tips, best practices, strategies? What can you share with us?
Well, number one is you just have to get in the right mindset. You have to and I think JJ said this once. She said, you have to get out there and tell yourself that you will be judged. Like, tell yourself, I will be judged, and people are going to judge me for putting myself out there. But everybody has a story to sell. Everybody has a story to tell and sell. And people are going to relate to your story. It doesn't matter where you are in your life. You could be starting out. You could be at chapter 5. You could be chapter 20. Somewhere along your journey is going to be someone that relates to your journey. And it's like, damn, I'm in the same place that guy is. But he's putting himself out there. He's taking the risk. He's taking the chance in starting this business for the world to see and the world to see him fail. That's what's so compelling about building your personal brand, because you can't fail in front of 1,000 eyeballs and millions of people if that happens. But that's also what motivates you and keeps you on your toes. It's like they act as your own coach and your accountability partner. Your audience can keep you accountable. Who else is going to keep you accountable? Yourself, maybe your spouse, maybe not. But when you got millions of eyeballs looking at you, or even 100, you take what you say on camera a little bit more seriously. And if you say you're going to do something, your word is bond, you better do it. So getting in that right mindset and putting yourself out there, getting over yourself, getting over that imposter syndrome, and just taking the risk. Get on camera, start practicing, start speaking to the camera, start going on podcasts, start speaking in general, and just like Nike says, just do it.
I love it. I love this. I think that's great advice. I want to ask,
going back is building a personal brand. There's like a 4-step process. Number 1 is obviously creating value. You can't create a personal brand without giving out value. So whether you're starting a business, in the shoe business, you're selling basketballs, you're selling a coaching program, every business needs to put out content. And you could be giving value in many different areas. Number 2 is putting out your lifestyle, random pics of yourself, just enjoying like the fruits of your labor. It could be on the beach on a laptop, enjoying the freedom laptop lifestyle, whatever. And then you have third-party validation. You also need to get out there enough to where other people are seeing you, validating you, getting feedback, going on a Zoom call and delivering value to your coaching audience, having people on that Zoom call repost you and tag you, telling them, tag me in this post. Reposting, that's third-party validation. Credibility. A lot of credibility comes from that. It also comes from press, which is another one, is putting your business out there online. It's not just social media, it's also getting press. So that's one thing businesses seem to lack at and not really do in the beginning of their journey, is getting press. Because imagine you starting out a business, you could go get press pretty quickly, pay for it. Who cares if it's paid for? There's plenty of press you're going to pay for. There's some press that might pick up your story and do it for free. I've had plenty of articles in Forbes about me along my journey. Just kind of 3-4 years ago, I had 4 articles in Forbes, just because I was putting myself out there more. I was going on this journey with Millionaire Mentor. So all those things combined help you build your personal brand.
So talking about what you've done and what you've been able to accomplish, congrats on the Forbes features. That's huge. How did you overcome the fears, the imposter syndrome, having so much attention, the quote unquote responsibility that comes with that? Sometimes it's uncomfortable for a lot of people, including myself. I'm like, man, I'm really putting myself out there. I'm basically naked posting this content. How did you overcome?
Oh, man. I'm normally shy, introverted.
Because I know you're engineer, analytical,
yeah,
on the
analytical.
Introverted side. How was the process for you to overcome your fears and really step into, I'm going to build the largest entrepreneurship, motivational, inspirational brand, and I'm going to stand behind that, and I'm ready to put the foot forward and be who I need to be?
I think it all boils down to that entrepreneur. It runs in my blood. That spirit, that force that all you do is think about is business. Your mind has never stopped working. It's like What is my next business move? I eat, sleep, drink, go to sleep, wake up, business, money. You know, I always tell people, keep the money on your mind and you're going to be successful. Your mind has to become so thoroughly saturated with the images of money that you can already see yourself possessing it. So it's also tricking your brain, and this is manifestation. Mm-hmm. You're tricking yourself into believing you're already successful, you're going to be successful. And if you think about long enough, if you think about your business long enough, don't you think you're going to make some money and be successful in it? Right?
100%.
So the more the money's on your mind, the more success can only come to you. So if you're out chasing girls, on the weekends your mind is off, at night your mind is off, and you're only putting your mind on 8 hours a day for business, well, you're only going to get 8 hours of 8 out of 10,
100%. How do you stay focused? Having a social media empire, having all this attention.
I'm pretty focused right now after getting out this cold plunge.
Having all the opportunities that come from running that page, how do you stay focused? Because sometimes I look at my Explore page, right? There's models, there's influencers, there's people on their jets, there's people on their helicopters. I start comparing myself. I start to see these other girls. I end up on their page. And I've been cutting a lot of that because I want to remain focused. But how do you remain focused when you run the business? You make a lot of money from it. There's a lot of opportunity from it. How do you focus in on this is the purpose, this is what I'm here to do, and the rest of the noise, the outside distractions, the models, the influencers, the jets, the cars, because there's a lot of people that have a lot more than you and I, because there's always levels to the game. How do you stay focused on like, this is who I am, this is my purpose, and just get through that?
I think having your goals clearly defined, your long-term goals, your mid-term goals, your short-term goals, saying no to things that either distract you from your goals, and saying yes to things to put you closer to your goals. So like shiny object syndrome is saying yes to things you shouldn't be saying yes to. Now if you have your goals written down and they're clearly defined, is what you're going to say yes to going to help you with that goal? And a lot of people don't put two and two together. Like if you have them written down and they're clearly defined, and you have this business opportunity that your friend just pitched you, like everybody's all like, we're talking about or having drinks about it or at the bar, yeah, let's do it. I want to jump in. I want to do this new business opportunity. But I forgot about my main goal. Even though I just said yes to my friend, let's do this. Like, and that distractions is what slows you down. So to stay focused is just focus on the goal, focus on the prize, the light at the end of the tunnel.
100%. So having a clarity of purpose, knowing what the mission is, what the vision is, saturating yourself with images of success and the things that you want to attain, feeling them in the present moment, right? And then number 2 is staying focused on those goals, having them written down. So every day you're working on them, and you're working on yourself to be able to achieve them. Right? Yeah,
and your goals can change. My goals change all the time. But they don't change often as they used to. There's now like a clear set path, and you're going to have goals that maybe it wasn't the right goal for you. Maybe it wasn't the right passion or right purpose, or you didn't have any vision, and there was no mission with a higher purpose for that goal. You just wanted to do it to make some money, going back to what I said earlier.
Got it. I like to say, I had a podcast where Sebas told me everything that's created from the ego leads to destruction. A lot of people are being destroyed by social media because they're just trying to keep up with the Joneses. I know you talk about that a lot. They're just trying to flex. They made their first couple $100,000 or their first big deal, and then they're going out renting Lambos and they're doing all these things. Do you believe in that fake it till you make it mentality? Because I personally went through that process, and for me, it was an absolute disaster. And now looking back, I could have made some different choices and done things differently because I wasn't clear on what my purpose was. I didn't have my goals aligned, and I didn't have the character to sustain what I was building. So how do you go about that yourself on the fake it till you make it? Because a lot of people, they're on the beach, they have their laptop, they're posting all these things with their cars, but most of them are broke, they're not making money. It's just, it's all facade.
Yeah, it's not being true to yourself. It's putting out a facade. It's telling people that you are this, but you're really that. You're really not as high statured as you stature yourself up to be. But it's Miami too. I think you find a lot of that going on in Miami. You don't really see that many other places. You go back to small town Ohio, there's nobody faking it. It's like you are where you are. Everybody knows, you know. So I do discourage that type of behavior because it can make you go broke and keep you broke, keep you paycheck to paycheck, especially living in Miami. Miami is expensive. Everything here is expensive. The cost of living is expensive. And if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, that guy that's renting another Lambo, that guy that's living in the mansion, I'd just stick to your path and be patient. Most people, they see the success other people have. And there's some overnight success people, but they look at other people's success and they're like, damn, I got to get there and I got to get there quick. There is no get rich quick scheme out there. There's no way to get rich, although it's nice to get rich quick if you can find the hacks. Because there are hacks to get rich quick. I'm not going to lie and say there's not. I've gotten rich quick and I've gotten poor quick. So there's if you stick to something that you love doing, consistent at, and you just got to be patient, guys. Patience is virtue in building a business. You're not going to become successful year 1, year 2, year 3. It's like 5 to 10 years. And if you do it quicker than that,
good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So patience is key, I think, in this game for sure. And Gary Vee says it all the time. You know, Gary Vee's like 3 or 4 years older than me. I'm 43 years old. You know, we've been entrepreneurs for a long time. A lot of people look at us. I look young, but I've been doing this for 23 years. You know, I've started and failed at a lot of businesses. I've had imposter syndrome. I've had shiny object syndrome. I've made some dumb investments. And, you know, we learn along the way as we go.
I love that. Well, 3 things before we move on to the next topic. I want to say, what was your biggest failure? How did you overcome it? Number 2, the best way for 2024 to build your personal brand. If you can just give 3 tips, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
My biggest failure?
What a lot of people don't realize while you think about it is failing to success is the path. It's how you deal with those failures. It's how you pick yourself back up when you're down, because the faster you fail, the faster you succeed. And a lot of people are afraid of failing because then they feel like a failure, it didn't work out and it's not for them. But that just means that it's an opportunity to work on the same path to get a different result. It's like like failure is just feedback.
Yeah, I think I just kind of covered it earlier. Is for me personally, I've failed in business by making the wrong decisions and saying yes to things I should have said no to. Things that weren't aligned with my original goals, and I saw stuff along the way that was, it's going to make me money quick, or I'm going to jump into this business because it can make me some money, but I wasn't passionate about it. And I've lost money doing that because I build up this business that I just want to make some money from because it's a great opportunity, and I end up just
not working,
chucking it and lost money because I wasn't passionate. And I think it goes back to that, is just saying no to all these crazy income opportunities that you see popping up all over the place. Make money here, make money there. You know, I'm not saying to go out and not try things. You got to go out, you got to try, you got to test, you got to tune, you got to see what's good for you. But once you find that's something that you want to really do, say no to everything else.
So say no is very powerful. I like that a lot. So what would you say before getting into a business venture? You say you got to be passionate about it, and what else would you identify before going into business?
The people that you do business with is also something I've failed with. Is the person
aligned with my vision or my purpose?
Yeah.
What else do you take into consideration?
Doing business with friends, with partners. Be careful with partners. Be careful doing business with friends. It's always best to start a business by yourself. Be 100% owner. That's one thing I recommend. It's easier to start businesses with friends because you have 2 people taking on the risk. Now you got 2 people investing. But the majority of those businesses will fail more than sole. People who started themselves and they just get investors. And, they're not really friends in the business. There are investors in your business. That's what I recommend too.
Okay. And then, 2024, somebody wants to build their personal brand, what are some strategies you would share for building your personal brand in 2024? Because technology is changing fast, the platform is changing fast, things are happening fast. What do you see for 2024, how to build that personal brand and how to grow fast?
It's a good tip. I just want to give a basic tip. I think if you niching down and picking a niche to start at before trying to just do blanket motivation, blanket inspiration, be known for a niche, become an expert in that niche, study that niche, become one of the top persons people think of when they think of your niche, because you want to be top of mind awareness when someone thinks of real estate. You know, who would you rather sell your house with? A broker that has a huge personal brand, or your friend that just got their license? Right? Who do you think you would give that to? Your best friend that just got their real estate license, or some guy with a huge personal brand?
The trust factor is there, the credibility is there, and the experience is there as well.
Yeah, so just pick the niche, stick to your niche, stay in your lane, become an expert in your field is the best thing to do when starting your personal brand.
Perfect. I love it. What would you say, Jason, are the skills that made you a multimillionaire?
Manifestation. It's not really a skill.
I think it is a form of a skill, because you have to create habits. You have to practice it every day. You got to put time into it. You got to get really good at it.
I'm very analytical. Like, I'm an engineer. So I'm always looking at the numbers, crunching the numbers. It's one skill. Managing money. I think the skill that people don't, it's not really a skill, it's a trait, but just taking risks. Just taking a risk, risk of either putting your personal brand out there and getting shamed, or risk of putting money and capital out there, because money is a tool. It needs to be put out and put to work. A lot of people, they're taught to hoard the money. They're taught to keep the money.
Scarcity.
Taught to put in their bank account and save up for a house or save up for this, and just kind of, but that money, you got to take a risk. You got to put it out there. You got to put it to work for you. You got to hope it makes more money. Without taking those risks, your business, you can't really make money. Become a businessman.
So being able to take risks, calculated risks, because you're analytical, you
Calculated
review the
risks,
deal,
yeah.
you review the risk to
there you go.
reward.
Calculated risks.
Got it. Okay. When did you make your first million? What age?
28, 29.
And that came through Treadstone?
Yeah.
And when did you begin to live the lifestyle that you have now, where you have the freedom, you have the family, you go on these extraordinary trips, you live a very extravagant lifestyle, you go out to the fanciest restaurants? When did that all start and begin for you?
When I moved to Miami.
So, what, 5-6 years ago?
No, that was
More?
15 years ago.
15 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, because you used to live in
Cutler Bay.
in Cutler Bay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Got it.
Yeah.
Back then I didn't know you as well. I noticed, I met you at Dream Masterminds and then Epic Talks, and
Yeah.
I saw you more here in the scene.
So what was the question?
So the question was, when did you begin to live your extravagant lifestyle? At what phase in your life was that? You had already built Treadstone, you had already built Millionaire Mentor, and then your businesses are cash flowing. Now you have more money, more luxury, more freedom. When did it all begin?
Yeah, so after Millionaire Mentor, the agency sprung out of that, and I hired a couple people to, actually teams to create content, sales managers to, do the posting, the sales, the invoicing. So pretty much Millionaire Mentor started to become a business that was just ran by itself. All I had to do was go in my stories every now and then, or have the team post content of me on the feed, which was all done automatically. So everything, both businesses were running, and I didn't have to do shit but go on my story and say what's up to you guys, drop some value once a day. So that allowed me to have the freedom to not even work. There was some times I would just not even work. I go on vacation once every couple of weeks. Go out with the kids on vacation. Me and my wife would go on like once a month, release going on vacation somewhere. And there was years of just freedom, the financial freedom to be able to get up and go whenever we wanted. And it's awesome. I'm still able to do that, but if I'm doing that, there's not building other businesses. So then it's like get back into grind mode a little bit every now and then. So there's that balance of like work, play, vacation, kids. It's definitely a lifestyle. It's a hectic lifestyle, but it's fun.
So you built Treadstone, scaled, automated, delegated, put the right people in place. This is going to run on its own. It's going to bring me X amount of money per month. Millionaire Mentor, the platform gets built out. An agency comes out of that, and then you just come in, you delegate, put the right team, the right systems, the right people in place, and then boom, that's a cash flowing business that doesn't really require my responsibility, just maybe getting on story once a day. You're not critical to these businesses. And then how many companies are you operating now? You have Treadstone, you have the agency. Do you invest into other companies? Do you have a portfolio of companies? Or right now you just have the agency and Treadstone?
I only invest into my own personal ventures. And I've done personal ventures along the way, the kind of like the failed businesses, because it's having the freedom of, all right, what do I do now? What do I want to build now? It allowed me to do that, but I should have just been building one business or scaling the agency. The agency we just started, literally we launched a website 8 months ago. The agency has been running in the back of the DMs of the Millionaire Mentor for 7 years. That's a business I could have scaled even more. But right now, my focus is on building this gym, this jiu-jitsu gym I opened 2 months ago.
Got it. So the way you move on to a next project is when you finish one, like Treadstone, automated, delegated, Millionaire Mentor. Now that you have a team in there, automated, delegated, onto the gym now.
Yeah.
So you do not start other businesses until you have that one running and cash flowing on its own.
Yeah, because you won't have time.
Right. Because I run into a lot of entrepreneurs, business owners, where they're like, hey, I'm trying to start these 4 different businesses at once. But it's like, let's say you have 4 buckets, right? You need to fill all of them up. If you're pouring your water into all 4 buckets, the water is going to run out and none of them are going to fill up, right? Rather than you get that water and you fill in 1 bucket, it's like, oh, wow, now I can fill up the next one.
1 bucket at a time.
Yeah, 1 bucket at a time. So that's how you process it.
Yeah. Because I only like to focus on one thing, one business at a time. It just allows you to be that much more efficient.
Got it. And being an entrepreneur, taking the risk, running the businesses, being on the grind, early mornings, late nights, hectic lifestyle. Let's talk about your amazing wife, Chrissy Stone. How did you guys meet? How did you know she was going to be the one, your wife? Like, what gave you that certainty and that confirmation? And then how does she support you in the grind? How critical is it to have that woman? Because I love your marriage. I love your family. I love Chrissy. I love you. You guys are amazing. And
thank you.
That's something that not only I want to have in the next 1-2 years, but I know a lot of people want to know about that.
Yeah. So we met at a party, friend's birthday party down in the Keys. Probably 12. Wait. Oh man, I'm sure you're gonna kill me if I get this number wrong.
This is why you guys don't do good in podcast. She would have been like, babe, what the heck?
14 years? 12? Somewhere in that 12 to 14 year range. We've been together. How did I know she was the one? There was never a dull moment. Not just, she's a beautiful woman, but a personality is the key, because there was never an awkward moment. We became friends first. We were friends first. We literally were friends.
That's powerful.
I had a girlfriend at the time when we were friends, but there was this connection that I've never had with anybody else. Maybe I never had a friend that was a girl. Actually, I never really had I had friends that were girls.
None like this one.
Yeah, not like this one. There was always the connection, that unspoken connection that we had. And, I'm not going to go into details, but, you know, and then breaking up with girlfriend, and we hooked up, and that's it.
The rest is history.
The rest is history, yeah.
And
We've been inseparable ever since.
Did you sell her a dream, a vision? Hey, this is what I want to do with my life, or was it more so like you guys were super good friends and the attraction was very high, and then you guys started working together? How did you build the empire? Because in order to get to where you've gone, you need to be both bought in, both supportive, both knowing where you're going. In the beginning, was it just like, hey, I'm just going to date this woman? Or then how did the empire get built?
The empire gets built quicker with a woman by your side, a great woman. And I think people, without that stability at home or the stability, you know, in your personal life, your business life suffers. Because, you know, if you're out chasing women every weekend, you don't have time to think about your business. If you're constantly in between relationships, there's like, it brings you down. Like, breakups suck. Going through the ups and downs of different relationships, different people, the night out, the one night stands, the constant chasing of girls, or going out with your boys, just being single in general. For me, I'm more efficient if I know my woman's, and we're on a good page. We love each other, and she's going to be there when I get home. She's going to be supporting me of my entrepreneurship, not being there in the beginning. I wasn't there, you know, even when raising our son, I was never there because I was busy at Treadstone building that business. So her support system throughout those times allows me to be in that entrepreneurship mindset.
So the importance of having a woman by your side is why you've gotten to where you've gotten.
I think, yeah.
Aside from your work ethic and all the things that you've done, but she's been very supportive of your journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are freaking awesome.
Thanks.
How do you manage when you have an attractive wife online? She's an influencer, right? You know, there's a lot of guys out there sliding to the DMs, a lot of activity going on. How do you process that? Do you ever deal with jealousy? Do you deal with fear? Do you get insecure? And just being vulnerable here, we all struggle with this as men. And I'm interested in knowing from somebody who's been doing it now. You've been married for how long? 12 years? 12, 13 years. And you guys are strong. You guys are traveling, living your best lives. How do you deal with those things? Like, I'm sure there's men out there that probably deal with jealousy. They deal with insecurity. They deal with fear. How do you manage that for yourself to always stay in your masculine energy and stay strong as a man?
Well, you know, it all starts with the woman that you're with too. Like, she needs to be on point with how she handles that. And sometimes the way she even carries herself doesn't even allow men to come up and hit on her, or the type of content she puts out there and the way she carries herself on social media. She doesn't really like get a lot of people hitting on her because they know she's with me. She's married, and when she's out with her girls in the club, like, she carries herself in a certain way as to not be flirtatious or put herself in positions where she's able to get flirted with even. Yeah, guys will come up to her and hit on her, but it's not as much as you would think because it's who she is. Like, guys are probably scared to go. But then her friends that are married carry themselves in different ways and have guys hitting on them all the time. It's all about the way they carry themselves. And it's hard to explain. Only women can explain it. Like, she says, I don't even put myself out there. People, guys are scared to come up, or they don't come up, or I'm just a certain, I don't know. It's hard to explain. So it all starts with the women. Then, obviously, yes, I have to have the confidence and not show too much emotion when I've seen like guys in her DMs or something like that.
Right.
So you have to have composure, not be the jealous type. Maybe you can make a joke about it, like, instead of who's this guy? oh yeah, just like that guy in your DM the other day. You know, it's you bring it up in a different way to where it's almost like you don't care, but you do.
Yeah.
But you don't show it.
Right.
You know, you have to play the part of like.
Got to be playful. Got to be in your masculine. Got to be strong.
Yeah.
And have fun with it.
You can't let them know it's getting to you, even though it does. Even though you want to say something,
Right.
you shouldn't. And it's just keeping yourself in composure and like, you know, if she's going to go be with another guy, that fine. Okay. Well,
Her loss.
Her loss. So yeah, both people play the part of it of, yeah, it's a tricky conversation for sure.
What are the values you guys live by? Like, what do you really value in a relationship? Is it loyalty, communication, respect? What are those things that you really value?
I think communication is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Without communication, even
Can you unpack communication? What does that mean?
So, at least once a day, you have to have like a 5 to 10 minute of uninterrupted communication with each other. How was your day? What did you do today? You know, what are your plans? That is something that's super key in a relationship that most relationships don't even have. It's like, hi, bye, hello, you know, what are you doing later? Blah, 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 blah. Like also communicating your goals and your visions together. Like that, this is more in-depth communication.
Right.
It's like, okay, I know your goals. We've communicated them. You know, what are your plans? Maybe your long-term dreams. It's like when two people know that about each other, you play off that and support each other. And there's a deeper bond within the relationship that comes out of sharing on a daily, if not weekly basis of your goals, your dreams, and your visions. And then that, like the 10 to 15 minute and uninterrupted conversation could be before dinner, could be during dinner, but that is something that helps the bond in a relationship for sure.
Love that. So communication, number one.
Number one.
What would you say is number two for you?
Respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Can you unpack respect?
And I was thinking about her respecting me when she's out without me. Like she shows respect for me. She doesn't talk about me to her girlfriends and gossip. Most girls do. Most girls talk negatively about their man because they're complaining about what they do bad and why aren't they. That's the number one no-no girls should not do in a relationship is talk negatively about their man to their other friends. That's not respectful at all. If I ever found out she was talking shit to me about, you know, her, I tell her that's disrespectful AF, you know. She's done it, but it's not as nearly as much as some of the girls out there these days.
And hey, no relationship's perfect, right? There's always room for improvement.
Yeah, for sure.
And the fact that you guys
we're not perfect.
Communicate through it.
We could be toxic too. But respect, you know, her respecting me, whether it's talking to the girls or, you know, pushing away people that are hitting on her, or even when my friends are over, it's like, you know, her respecting, like, oh, you know, catering to the friends and having really good manners. Something she's really high up on is she's taught me a lot of really good manners. But like, I'm not talking about the hi and the bye and the please and the thank you. It's manners where it's thinking about other people first and thinking about other people's wants and needs before your own.
Etiquette, kind gestures, hospitality.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You guys complement each other, make each other better. So
yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. And then what would you say is number three for you? Communication, respect.
Respect. I mean, I was gonna say loyalty, but that's an easy one. Of course, you got to be loyal in a relationship.
And while you think about it, how do you earn respect as a man? There's a lot of men that are not respected by women. They're getting smacked around.
Yeah.
They're just buying things for them to please them, and they're like doing things that are allowing women to run all over them. You know.
Yeah.
How do you earn respect as a man?
You got to garner respect through your consistent actions as a man. Like if you don't have nothing going for you, if you're not working at a business, if you're not spending time with your family, you need to spend also 10 times with your friends. You have to have a consistent daily routine, a schedule. Like today, my routine has changed a little bit. I get up in the morning, I get some sun. You know, the sun helps you with vitamin D, your immune system, your circadian rhythms, and then getting in the cold plunge in the morning. It's kind of why I'm a little chilled right now. But like having that consistent schedule that you don't deter from gains respect. Reading books, getting on this, this routine in the morning, routine in the evening, having your downtime, your tea time, your communication time. Like I make tea all the time, and that's kind of like some of our communication time sometimes. Those things gain respect. Like you're a respectful man. You become a high value man when you're in your schedule and you're on your grind mode and you're in your family mode and your communication, and everything comes together and
harmonious.
Yeah. And women respect that.
Got it.
Also, they respect the manners and the hospitality and stuff like that. But I think just a man just prioritizing themselves, putting themselves first, thinking about your health, thinking about your gym, what you eat, and not being lazy and fat and unmotivated. Those aren't respected qualities.
Okay. I love that. And then number 3, so we have communication, respect, and what would you say is the third?
I guess
value?
loyalty.
Loyalty.
Yeah, that explains itself. No cheating.
Of course. I heard on another podcast of yours that you said, let's say you and Chrissy get in a fight. You're like, I'm afraid we're going to break up. How do you deal with that fear? How do you know that she's not going to go anywhere, or it's just, how do you manage that?
Yeah, we have fights all the time.
But thanks for the honesty.
Yeah. There's a fine line between love and hate. Like the hate word is thrown around just as much as the love word. And if you get in an argument and you don't care and you don't hate that person because of the argument, then you don't love them. Right? So that fine line is like when we argue, we get so annoyed with the other person. Like, why am I even with you? Why am I even wasting my time? I'm so annoyed with you. One of these qualities that you have, I don't even want to be with you anymore. And we all think that, right? Yeah. We all think that we're in an argument with our significant other. Like, I just want to break up with you. I'm going to find some houses on Zillow. I'm moving out. And I've done that before. Yeah. She's done it. But those are like maybe the drunken arguments. Yeah. Alcohol is really bad.
The drama. Yeah.
I think 90% of our arguments stem from alcohol. Not many arguments we have get really that intense. We're not saying we like to party, we like to go out, we like to have fun. We're not those goody-goody parents and people, but we have fun. But there's a lot of alcohol causes a lot of arguments. And I'm slowly starting to dislike drinking as much as we used to, and getting, kind of, sometimes we used to, every time we go to a restaurant, we'd have a drink. Now it's calmed down a little bit. We don't have a drink all the time. It's like occasional. And we go out, it's occasional. And I know if we go out and there's drinking involved, that we have to, because drinking also triggers in her, she has what they call like traumas. She said traumas growing up, and then traumas from our past fights. And drinking triggers those traumas.
Like old memories.
Just like in anybody. Yeah. If you have traumas, drink is going to make it worse and make those traumas come out. So you got to be careful. Like alcohol is one of the worst drugs in the world. And if you're not careful, it can get you in a lot of trouble.
For sure.
So, we do have arguments. Alcohol makes them worse. And, you just got to be careful. Not drinking, because there's a point that you can drink and like have fun, have a couple of drinks, get a little buzz, have normal conversations, but then you go over, start having shots, start not
you're
remembering.
Intoxicated, essentially.
You're blacking out and not remembering things you said or did the night before. That's bad.
Yeah. We used to be in a relationship like that, and it was a disaster. So I'm not a big drinker. I rarely drink, very, very rarely, because I love my health. I love my body,
Yeah, me
And
too.
alcohol, at the end of the day, it's a toxin that's entering and it's causing you to lose
It's a
consciousness.
neurotoxin in your brain.
And I've been learning to value my health much more. So I'm like, man, we don't need this unless it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do a Sunday brunch, something, a special occasion. But I don't think anything ever has good has come from drinking alcohol.
Yeah, like we've definitely gotten a lot better with that because the next day, even if you don't feel hungover, you're still not performing
Yeah,
at
that's
your
the
optimum level.
worst.
You don't have to call it a hangover, but you're not performing at your optimum level. You're not eating the right foods that you would normally
You're like
eat on your
distorted.
routine. You're gonna crave that pizza and the pasta and the fat, especially if that just messes up the next 1 to 2 days. You got to get back in your routine. It takes 2 days to recover sometimes now.
Got it. Have you guys ever had to see a therapist before?
Oh, we do see a
Yeah,
therapist, yeah.
Also, you think that's actually valuable to the relationship?
Oh yeah, therapy is definitely crucial. The kids see therapists too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, me and Christy, we see therapists every now and then. It's just the same one but we've been through like a dozen therapists.
Right.
Yeah.
You finally found one you like.
We might see another one. It's like you learn stuff from the therapists. So many therapists out there, they have so much to teach, and you're going to learn different things from each therapist. Right now, the kids are seeing a therapist half hour every 2 weeks. Nothing crazy. We learned some things from this therapist. All right, we might move on to the next one. Maybe this next one will teach us something we didn't know about our lives.
Got it. Okay. Appreciate you sharing that. What would you say is, what are the character traits that have attributed to your success in both business, life, and relationships?
I think we covered this one, no? Character traits.
Yeah, for yourself.
I don't know.
I know you're very focused. I know that you're always on your purpose.
Character traits. I like to finish things I started. I like to do things that I say.
Integrity.
Integrity, yeah. Very diligent. And it's like when I start something, I want to finish it. I want to, get this done. I'm very efficient. I'm a very efficient person. I'm very intuitive. I can predict the future. No. It's part of intuition. But yeah, I'm not sure what else.
I got another question. The millionaire mentor. Who's the mentor of the millionaire mentor?
I've answered this question before, and there's multiple mentors of the millionaire mentor. Like, I never had a mentor at all. I've always just learned from people online. And I think you should pick a couple people that you like, learn from them, study them, read their books, like Dale Carnegie, or I think Andrew Carnegie, How to Win Friends, Influence People.
Dale Carnegie.
Dale.
Andrew Carnegie was the monster.
Bob Proctor, he's the
Uncle Bobby P.
king of manifestation. Other mentors that I like as entrepreneurs, Uncle G, you got Ty Lopez taught me a lot about marketing. You got Jordan Belfort taught a lot about sales. Cody, a lot about real estate. Dean Graziosi, a lot about mindset. Tony Robbins, a lot about mindset. These are all entrepreneurs that you guys all should be following and learning from.
So they weren't actual mentors, but they're people that you read their books, you went to the seminars.
Mm-hmm.
Who inspires you?
To do what?
Somebody that you may look up to. Aside from these guys, is there a specific person or maybe a role model that you had in your life?
I don't know, maybe a good one. I mean, Grant Cardone's a good one because what he does really good is his personal brand. he's also really good at selling. He's also really good at not giving a fuck. You know, those are qualities of an entrepreneur that I aspire to have. And I think a lot of people should aspire to have the same qualities. You know, not giving a fuck what people think of you. Putting yourself out there, not giving a hell what people think about building your personal brand, getting on video. You know, making the sales. A lot of people are scared to just make a sale and talk about their sale, talk about their product, talk about their product. So he talks about his product and service every single day. And that's why some people get annoyed with him.
Yeah.
Some people don't like him because of it. I admire that quality.
Yeah.
Like, sell your shit, you
Yeah.
know? You can't be scared to talk about the thing that you love. And so he gets a lot of negative feedback on that, but, you know, make a sale a day. I'm talk about your product every single day and look what will happen. Watch what happens to your business.
Who are people that you look forward to connecting to? Maybe in the next couple of years, like who would you like to connect with? Who would you want to meet, sit down with?
Tony Robbins would be cool. He's really good at.
Are you going to UPW in Dallas?
I've never been to his events, but I always wanted to go.
Man, you talking about the people you want to sit down to, you want to meet.
I know.
You got to get in the game.
Get in the game. Yeah, get into it.
I'm going to be there. You should come with Christy. Yeah.
I've been meaning to go to UPW for years.
I think it actually would be
When's the
really
dates?
good for you. It's November and change. I'll text it to you.
I think it's the end of November, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's Thanksgiving.
No, but it's actually, I believe it's like the 10th through the 12th.
Okay.
8 through 11, something like that. I'll clarify the dates. But I think that you and Chrissy should definitely come to UPW.
Who else would I want to? Who else would I want to have a sit down with? I'm trying to think of like a good. Not that Tony Robbins is not a good one. Like a CEO, maybe Elon Musk. I think that's a good one.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys.
I think that's a better answer.
A lot of people at the office are reading the book of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, it's a phenomenal book. Patrick recommended it because he used to be bullied. He used to be looked down upon, and then look at what he's turned out to be.
It's crazy. I always root for the underdog.
Yeah. Who's in your inner circle? Who do you like to surround yourself with? Like, who are your inner circle guys? What do you look for in them?
Top secret.
Top
No,
secret.
just kidding.
So who's in your inner circle? Who do you surround yourself with when you're not with Christy? Do you have an inner circle? Do you have a group of men that you, maybe a men's group, leadership group,
I don't have
mastermind
a
group?
mastermind group. No, not anymore. At least I've kind of taken myself out of the mentoring, the guru coaching space for a little bit to build my traditional businesses.
But outside, not from business, but you don't have a group of men that you maybe talk about like life, what's happening in business, just like a tight circle.
They have my friends. You know, that's maybe different from what you're referring to. Friends, like names. You guys want to know names?
No. Just like, so what qualities do you look for people like in your inner circle?
People that are motivated, like that I could potentially do business with. I think that's a really good quality to have for your friends. Like, if you can't make money with your friends, like, are they really like? What do you have guys have in common?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, you gotta be friends, but if you're hanging out with your core circle, they're usually people that you can potentially make money with, right? Think about that.
Something to ponder on. I definitely agree. Having those people that are
you
reliable.
have things to talk about, you have better things to bond over, you're more compatible with each other, and you're gonna have things that you could do together in the future, potential partnerships, you know.
100%. So what's the next 5 years looking like for Jason Stone? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do?
Goals.
Hey, listen, we're coming up Q4, end of the year. What's the next 5 year vision? What does Jason want to do?
I was just talking with one of my guys. It's like, what do we want to put on the vision board? I mean, we have some options. Like, what do I want to focus my time onto? You know, and there's a couple things. we either scale the gym, we either scale the Millionaire Mentor Coaching Mastermind program that I've been talking about for years and doing for years, and kind of like what Tate does with his coaching program. It's like I know so many entrepreneurs in the space. I can bring them together to build the ultimate mastermind. So we got the gym, the Millionaire Mentor. We have scaling the agency. And those three things is like what I'm tossing up right now. What do I want to focus on? Because I'm doing a little of all three, maybe. But I think there's one in there that I'm leaning towards the gym. It's something I like. It's new. It's fun. It's exciting to grow a brand. It's not my brand. It's my professor's. His name's Professor Arashiro, and I'm honored to actually do business with him. I've been training with him for 4 years in jiu-jitsu, and he has this great brand that nobody knows about. I'm like, let's do this together. I could blow your personal brand up. You have a skill that nobody possesses. Very, very few people on this earth possess the same skills that he has as far as martial arts. And who knows where it could take us. We can have a gym with thousands of members and multiple gyms.
Like multiple locations.
Yeah, franchising. Yeah.
That's a vision right there.
It's a vision. Yeah, but it's possible. I know I could do it. And that's another quality that I have, is like when I've set my mind to something, I'm going to do it. Like if I put all my focus on doing that, I'll do it. But do I want to? That's the question.
Are you willing and are you able?
Am I willing to give the sacrifices up and the time and say no to everything else? Because you have to. I could not do this if I was doing anything else. The agency, fuck the agency. Millionaire Mentor, fuck that brand. I would have to focus on that brand 100% if I really wanted to do it. But luckily, those brands run without me.
Yeah, I think you're in a great position to actually pursue that vision.
Yeah.
And it's something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
It excites you.
Exactly.
You have an incredible professor with a high level of skill. And nobody's doing that. Maybe you could put in the branding and the marketing.
The only biggest brand in the space is the Gracie brand. And there's multiple Gracie brands. Everybody knows the Gracie family with jiu-jitsu. And I think I could do that with our.
Can you compete is the question?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think I could.
Let's go. Awesome. So, and then Chrissy's in Monet and she's with the family. That's what she does now.
Yeah, she's got the side hustle still going. Yeah.
She just posts, money comes in.
I mean, she hasn't hustled that business for probably 2 years. Really, I'm like, you should get back into it. It still brings money in. It's crazy what network marketing can do. You could build a business up for 2 years, take 2 years off, and still bring in $10,000 a month. It's insane.
Yeah, that's good for her. She busted her ass with that. Yeah. And she's just an incredible person to work with overall. So that's good for her. So as we wrap up here, what's the number one thing you want to teach your kids as they grow up? What is one thing you want to instill in them? What is one thing you're teaching them? For example, Patrick is like, the number one thing that I teach my kids to do is how to process issues with alcohol, drugs, dating, friends, circles, business. How do you process these issues? He's always teaching his kids that. And of course, they read a ton of books. Yeah. But that's what he always says in the masterminds.
I want to teach my kids to become entrepreneurs. Right now, they don't. I'm teaching them to value money, and I think when we teach our kids to value money, that money is just not given to them. It doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't come and go just because we have it. Like I'll take $1 from my daughter for $1 Roblox. I'm like, pay me $1. Like, it's not because I need the dollars, because I need to teach her the value of the dollar and her to work and know that money is something you need to make. Even though, like, this is like a low level, it's not like a deep issue that we're teaching. I'm not talking about deep connectivity issues and traits that I'm just like money.
How to manage money, how to make money
in life. Yeah. Like, it all starts with money. Like, if you don't have that entrepreneur mindset to go out and figure out how to make money, then you're going to be struggling the rest of your life. So pick your hard. It's hard to make money sometimes, but you don't want to struggle. live the paycheck to paycheck, get a 9 to 5. Like I was taught to go to college. My parents, get a 9 to 5. As soon as you get out of college, luckily enough, they were able to scrape enough money to put me through college. But that's what we're taught growing up is go to school, get a good job. And I want to teach my kids to go to school, become entrepreneurs.
I love it. So Jason, appreciate the time. Appreciate you coming on here. We talk a lot about a lot of different subjects, but I'm glad that you opened up. You provided some value for myself and for everybody watching here. Where can people continue to follow your journey?
All right, so we got the business account, millionaire_mentor. We have my personal account on Instagram, Jason_Stone. We have the business blog at millmentor.com, MILL mentor.com. Post a lot about entrepreneurship there. We have the agency, profileagency.com, which was just launched less than a year ago. And we can help you build your personal brand, get you more followers, real followers. And I'm going to talk about the shitty followers that everybody's doing. No giveaway shit. Real people that go to your profile and hit the follow button is what we specialize in. And we've been doing it for 8 years. We're the best in the game when it comes to delivering the best, highest quality follower money can buy. Not only following, but putting people and leads and clients into your business. We got Treadstone Performance, which is my high-performance turbocharging company. We're plugging it all today. Treadstone Performance. You want a car go faster, fast and furious? We got you covered. We sell parts we have thousands of dealers all over the world that sell our parts. In fact, we were just had some sponsored cars in Bradenton, FL2K, going down the drag strip. So that's pretty cool. Our Shiro BJJ launched. Come in for your free jiu-jitsu class. You should come.
Okay.
Drew, come on in. You
I
gotta
like
come
this.
in.
He started to promote, baby. Let's go.
Arashiro, ARASHIRO, BJJ.com. And jiu-jitsu is fun, guys. I tell all my friends, if you try it once, you're gonna fall in love. So get out there, get active.
I love it.
Learn a cool skill.
Let's go. Learn how to defend yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're like a very mysterious man. It's like Jason Stone, you see this guy, he's not that big, he's not that buff, but you'll freaking do some jiu-jitsu and you fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you'll fucking take him out.
Yeah,
but I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Well, Jason, thank you so much. And I'm excited to see the jiu-jitsu. I want to see you reignite that passion for that. I think that's an incredible sport and something that can blow up here and across the nation.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Thank you so much. See you.